Hi everyone, welcome to Everything Stitching. Welcome to part 4 of our basics with crocheting, all the super basics. We've talked about many things on parts 1, 2, and 3. So if you have not watched those ones, please go back and watch those, as they really help walk you through the different steps and stages of crocheting. So on this video, we are going to learn how to do we are going to learn how to do increases and decreases, whether you are working vertically and making a blanket or a wearable of some sort, or a scarf or a beanie, you know, anything like that. So we're going to learn how to do single or increases and decreases, and then also increases and decreases in the round. So we're going to be working on both of those today. So if you want to get yourself a hook, any size hook and any type of yarn, and let's just practice making some swatches and practice decreasing and increasing. So I have this non-frayable yarn. Let me show you what it is. I actually got this. This is Lion brand yarns. I got it from Joanne. This is wonderful. It's really great for beginners, as it doesn't fray and it just slides so nicely on your hook. This is a super bulky, and then I'm using a 6.5mm hook. But like I said, it doesn't matter what yarn or hook you're using, because we're just making swatches and we're practicing, okay? So for my swatch, I have, I made a 16 chains, and then I did 15 single crochets into it. So that's what my swatch is. It's 15 single crochets. And then I chained one, and now I'm ready to show you guys how to do an increase. And then after we do a row of increases, I'm going to show you a row of decreases. Now this swatch in the end is going to look very wonky, because it's going to be this size and then it's going to be double that, and then we're also going to decrease. So it's going to end up looking like a weird triangle in the end. But like I said, this is a swatch, so this is what we need to do. Okay, so I've chained one, and now we're going to go ahead and get started on doing increases. So to do an increase, all you're doing is 2 stitches in the same stitch. So since we have 15 right now, we're going to end up with 30, since we're going to be doing an increase in each stitch. So you're going to get your hook, insert it underneath your first stitch, pull up. We're just doing a single crochet, and we did 1. Now if we continue to do 1 in each stitch, when we got to the end, we would end up with 15 again, right? But we're going to do an increase, which is putting 2 in the same stitch. So now we're going to get our hook, insert it into that same exact stitch that we were just working in, and do another single crochet. If you don't know how to do single crochet, definitely go watch part 1. And then just pull through. So right here we have 2 single crochets. You can see them. 1, 2 in 1 stitch, and that is an increase. So like I said, if we continue to increase in each stitch, we'll end up with 30 at the end. And typically, when you read a pattern, especially when you're working vertically like this, you're not going to increase in every single stitch, because it just makes it too large too fast, and you have this look to it versus it kind of getting bigger on a gradual. It's not very gradual. But for the sake of this video, I am showing you an increase in every single stitch to show you what it's going to look like, and show you that we started with 15, and if you increase in every stitch, you're going to end up with 30, right? Math. Okay, so we've done a few here, and do you notice how it's making it curve like this? Totally normal, because we're increasing so much in this row. It's going to kind of look like a rainbow at the end. Okay. So let's do this increase slow again. Let's insert our hook, and we're going to do a single crochet into our next stitch like normal. Then you're going to insert your hook into that same stitch that we were just working in, and do another single crochet. And that's an increase. On a pattern, Typically it is abbreviated by doing INC. Every once in a while you'll see a pattern that actually says increase, but most of the time it's just abbreviated INC. So I'm going to continue this. We're almost at the end of this row. Now we're at the end. Now if we did not do an increase in every single round, it wouldn't end up making a circle. But if you typically you would do like 3 single crochets and then an increase, 3 single crochets and then an increase, you know, type stuff like that. So when you're reading your pattern, you're going to know what to do. But for the sake of learning how to do an increase, that's how you do it. Okay? It's really pretty though, right? I love the look. Okay, so now let's talk about doing an increase in the round. So right here, I have a round started and I have 10 stitches in the round right here. So what we're going to do is the exact same thing we did, just like we're working horizontally, but we're going to work in the round. So to do an increase, you're going to insert your hook into your next stitch, pull up and just do your increase. Okay. Now when you're working in the round, what do we always do? We always mark our first stitch with a stitch marker. Then in that same stitch that we are working in, we're going to do 1 more single crochet, which is going to be our increase. And we're going to do that completely around. So like I said, we started this round with a total of 10 single crochets, but we're going to end this round with a total of 20 since we are doing an increase into each stitch. Like I said, depending on what your pattern is, it's going to tell you single crochet and then increase, or however many single crochets there are to do and then an increase. But whenever you see increase in a pattern, it just means 2 stitches in the same stitch. That way you're increasing it by 1 stitch and making your project grow, whether it's in the round or vertically. So we've made it back to our stitch marker, which was the first stitch of this round. And now we've ended off this round with a total of 20 stitches. Look how awesome that's looking. So look how much it's growing, right? So if you just keep that going, you're going to increase as big as you need, whether you're making a basket, a cute trash can, right? Anything. That's how you do it. So now let's talk about decreasing, and let's go ahead and talk about decreasing in the round since we've got this right now. So to do a decrease, there are a couple different ways. There is the normal decrease, which is just in a pattern called decrease, or abbreviation, which would be DEC. And let me show you how to do that. So what you're going to do a decrease, you're going to insert your hook into the next stitch like you would normally, right? Yarn over, pull through, no big deal. Okay, so to do a decrease in the round is basically the same as doing it in any type of project, right? Whether it's in the round or horizontally. But here's what you need to do. You're going to get your hook, and typically when you are crocheting, you insert your hook under both loops or both V's of your next stitch. But when you're decreasing and doing an invisible decrease, you're actually only going to insert your hook under that first loop of the stitch. Then you're going to get your hook, don't yarn over yet, get your hook and insert it under the first loop of the second stitch as well, okay? And you're doing that before you yarn over. So basically you have your hook into 2 stitches. And that's how you make 2 stitches, 1 stitch. Then you yarn over and pull through both of your loops that you have on your hook, and you finish off like a normal single crochet. So now you had 2 stitches right here, but you just decreased it into 1 stitch. Then you would mark it, and that's your first stitch of the round. So now let's just do a normal single crochet for the next stitch, which would be under both loops of your stitch. Boom, normal single crochet. Now let's do another decrease. You're going to get your hook, you're going to insert it under only the first leg of that round, of that stitch. Then get your hook and you're going to insert it under the first leg of that second stitch. Whoops, not both legs, only one. And now you've got those two on your hook, and then you pull through like a normal single crochet. So now, once again, we had 2 stitches, but we just made it 1. So we're decreasing. Next stitch, we're just going to do a regular single crochet. And let's do a decrease again together. So you're going to get your hook and insert it under that first leg, and then the first leg of the next stitch. And finish it off like normal. And keep on continuing to do 1 single crochet and 1 decrease throughout this round. So remember, we finished that other round with 20 because we did an increase, but now we're doing a decrease. So now we're going to end up with 10. And you're going to notice that when you work in the round, it's going to start to close up. And when you're working vertically, it just gets shorter, but when you're working in the round, it closes. So depending on what you're making, it's really, really cool. And there you go. See? You can make like a tiny little boat. And that's how you do it. Now let's go ahead and show you guys how to decrease with other patterns, like if it was just vertical. Okay, so we're at this end that we increased in each stitch, and it's pretty wonky, but we were just showing you how to do it, right? So you're going to do your normal chain 1 like you would, and let's just put a single crochet. Well, let's actually skip that first one and go into this next one and just do a single crochet, okay? Because it's getting pretty wonky. Oh, hold on, I've got a knot in my yarn. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a decrease now. Remember what our rules are, right? We're going to get our hook, we're going to do our invisible decrease by getting our hook and inserting it under only the first leg of our stitch. So if you look at your stitch, there's 2 legs. You're going to get your hook and insert it under the first one, so the front one, and then the next front one as well. So 2 stitches now become 1 stitch. Now, I don't know if you noticed that, but on that one, I wasn't able to pull my yarn through both at the same time. So let me show you if you need to do it separately. So remember, we're getting our hook under the first leg and then the first leg of the next stitch. Now, depending on how tight your pattern is or what yarn or blah, 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 sometimes you can yarn over and just pull through both loops at the same time and it's no problem. Sometimes you can't. So you would pull through that first one and then kind of pull through that next one. And this is why beginners don't like to decrease, because it can be a pain like that, but that's okay. Just work with it. Push it out of the way, move it, pull it through, then do your normal yarn over and pull through like a normal single crochet. So honestly, when you're reading your pattern and it says decrease or increase, don't get nervous now, because now you know how to do it, right? An increase is what? Putting 2 stitches into 1 stitch, so increasing a stitch by 1 to 2, right? A decrease is just the opposite of that. Instead of having 2 stitches in a space, you're making it 1, so you're making your project smaller. And once you know how to do these 2 really good or really easy techniques, you're going to be able to make so many more new projects with them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I sure enjoyed making it. Please like and subscribe. I have many more beginner-friendly basic crochet stitches, techniques, and just other video ideas for you guys. So stay tuned for those. And then I'm gonna have other videos coming out that are not just specifically for beginners, but maybe more intermediate as well. And if you guys have any other video ideas or something you want to learn how to do, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I love reading your comments and making what you guys are asking for. Okay, well, again, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.